The Holy Bible is arguably the fourth in five books to help people understand reality and survive and achieve what they want. Most instructors of the Holy Bible get it completely wrong by inverting the purpose of the Holy Bible from getting what you want to following a thing that leads to a horrible death. But obviously, it's not the application of any large work, including, I would say, the Satanic Bible, which has application if you're the right type of computer. Satanic Bible is important if you're the right type of processing system. If you're not, you stay the hell away from it. So the Holy Bible is preceded by three books. The first one obviously being Mother Goose. Stuff like how to tie your shoes, how to eat with a spoon, how to treat other people with respect, obey your mom provided she's not a criminal. Basic things like that. Identifying who your parents are. Since you cannot survive without Mother Goose, I'm going to skip over that one. That one cannot be eliminated from reality because it's too basic. Homo sapiens actually cannot survive without the very basic spoon feeding of Mother Goose. So let's skip over that. The second book is arguably the text algebra. A correct algebra text goes through arithmetic operations, mentions fractions which don't need expansion unless you're in certain, please. And then it goes over the day-to-day applications of algebra, which are important mostly in finance. There are a lot of financial analysts who use the skills of algebra to do their job. Algebra is important and is a type of military. It's a type of military training applied correctly. You get skills that allow you to be responsible with textbooks, which of course includes number columns. A sensible algebra goes through probably up to, if you're going to be, since you're going to use your brain and you're going to be brainful, it's probably doing that thing where you add to both sides and maybe multiply by both sides, and then it stops there because there's no good applications past that. Not right now, not in this universe. After that is a text, biology. Seriously. Yeah, a complete understanding of stuff such as why rocks exist, what we know about plants, what is safe to eat. Once you've mastered the idea of being compatible with society, which is Mother Goose, you know your additions, subtractions, and multiplications at a minimum, and you understand the basic theory of physics, then you're ready for the Holy Bible. There's a problem here. The rest of the world wants to hear those Bible teachings because I can handle the first three. The death that's occurring here in the United States is people fighting the first one. Most commonly, it's the idea that you talk to people to get what you want. Part of getting what you want is having conversations with other people, but those conversations are not form conversations. Those conversations are free flowing and use of bravery. That bravery is designed and placed correctly by the individual. That individual uses a self bravery of survival to generate a correct bravery of communication. The reason why I cannot communicate with people is because I choose not to follow the quote unquote TED Talks communication. I'm not going to use that because I'm not insane. I'm not recovering from a mental illness. My goal is to work with those beings that seek actual greatness. Not a greatness of being able to beat a lot of people up, but greatness of producing beautiful art. That greatness allows that art to exist in the correct places and recognizes when it does exist. That greatness cannot see my wife and say, that's stupid. Please. Given that it's difficult to find people here in the United States who have the bravery to fight through the X.com nonsense and therefore simply agree with stupid people simply because they're quote-unquote influencers. There's probably very few people I can actually work with in the United States. That's fine. I'm divorcing a psychology that pretends I need to actually associate with all these people to survive. I'm braver than that. I'm smarter than that. I'm smart enough to survive by myself. Seriously. And don't go down, I don't have any friends. We have a problem there. Apparently, most of these people don't even understand what intelligence looks like. So I'm not going to even deal with that. The Holy Bible. There are two examinations of the original audience of the Holy Bible, which we're going to look at it like any other text is important. There are actually three of them, but this new one is so new I'm going to leave it out. Please. The first classical one is that the first part of the Holy Bible, or the Pentateuch, was written by, of course, now it's going to be scholars who worked with Moses, please. Most likely, so that we're compatible with, yeah, exactly, please, so that we're compatible with books 1, 2, and 3. The original versions of the Pentateuch were probably engraved on on some Egyptian pyramid things. And if you're brave enough not to, please, you're brave enough not to make everything that is not Israel an enemy, you start to understand that if you understand that God blesses good. The Bible is a story of a disobedient Israel and works using a Greek understanding of just don't do this. Don't act like these bozos. It's a chronicle of how to lose. That puts the Bible up there with other Homeric epics. Okay? The Bible is a Homeric epic of how Israel lost. It's a very lengthy one. It is the only Homeric epic that forms an entire civilization. Okay, now that's a really big Bible. I'm going to see what type of nonsense people are going to now say about the Bible. Seriously. That would be the greatest Homeric epic about a bunch of people who successfully left a captivity that they obviously caused for themselves. They think they're going to survive in the wilderness, and they just continue dying as they constantly refuse to accept that the actual God is the one telling them to stop masturbating. Seriously. Secondary version of the Bible, which acknowledges its universal use, goes, if we're going to put a correct understanding into the general idea of digital paradigms. The Bible is a very flexible understanding text that, taken one interpretation, is an abstract story of success. There are a few characters in the Bible which are successful as an abstract system of imitation of reality. That one ensures that the Bible was written by God. Whatever created our universe, whatever programmed our reality, uses the Holy Bible in its abstract form as the driver of existence. That is obvious to me. The third one, which will simply be mentioned, is that the Bible was actually written in the 1500s as part of the quote-unquote King James Project. If it was, there may have been something that appeared on the earth that was quietly removed or simply left when they couldn't stop, walking about Columbus. Thank you, and good night.